Hey everyone, I got this nice 8-piece chisel set and I'm going to sharpen them up and I'll show you how I do it. So when I'm sharpening, I have a diamond stone that I use to flatten my whetstone and my ceramic stone. Diamond sharpening plates are really expensive, but they don't need any maintenance. They're flat and they stay flat and they always stay sharp. This is my whetstone. It has a 1000 grit side and a 200 grit side. So whetstones are nice because they're fairly inexpensive. The only thing is they need a lot of maintenance. So you have to constantly keep it flat because they wear as you sharpen on them and then they'll start to cup and dish. So there's just a lot of maintenance required. My ceramic stone is, I think it's 12,000 grit. So this is for like a high polish. Ceramic is similar. It needs some flattening, but not as much flattening as a whetstone. So not as much maintenance, but they're a little more pricey. So you basically want to work your way up from the 200. My diamond is 360. Then I go 1000, 12,000. First I need to wet my whetstone, so I'm going to go soak that in water for about 10 minutes and then I'll use my diamond stone to flatten it. One way to test to see if your stone is flat is you take a pencil, draw some lines all the way across. And then we're going to use some lubricant. Here I have some glass cleaner. You can use water or whatever. And we're just going to flatten it with the diamond stone. So see this area and this area taken off first, so there's a little bit of a dip in the middle. I don't know if you can see that. So we'll flatten it a little bit more. We still have a little more in the middle, so we'll keep working on that. So that looks pretty clean now. So now that we've soaked our whetstone, we can flatten it. Draw a couple lines. Make sure our surface is wet. There, that looks pretty good. A little bit here and here. Nice. We're going to start by sharpening this 3/4 inch chisel. So we have the back face here and then our primary bevel. The primary bevel is typically set to 25 degrees. So we're going to make sure the back is flat first. So if we look at the chisel, we can see it's hitting here and here and here. You need to keep flattening until you can see that it's grinding all the way across that front edge. So we still have some more work to do. So it's grinding just below the edge. It hasn't even touched the edge yet. So it's not quite flat. We need to flatten all the way to that edge. Still need to get to that edge. Let's try the 220 Whetstone. And on the Whetstone, it's more important to try to use the whole face, so you're not wearing one part more than the rest. So if you can't tell that you've gotten to the edge yet, sometimes you can use a Sharpie. Just mark that top edge. That way, once that's gone, you know it's flat. Now let's move to the 1000 side. Spray it a little bit. And keep flattening. Now we'll finish up with the 12,000 ceramic. And there you can see the polish we've created. So now that we have our back flat, we can flip it over and start to work on this bevel. Another way to tell that you got it flat all the way across the front edge is if you feel the bevel with your finger, you should feel a little burr that was worked up from flattening the other side. So we're going to start with the 200 grit and work our way up. I like to kind of hold the chisel in my right hand, get my pointer finger on the right edge, and then kind of interlock my thumbs maybe, so that my two fingers are on the corners, kind of like that. And you want to rock until you find that primary bevel. And we're going to start there. You want light pressure on your fingers. And try to stay really consistent. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but we're starting to grind right here in the middle, and it hasn't reached all the way across yet. So we're going to keep going. And if you feel like you're off, just find that bevel again and start again. It's helpful to kind of do it at a little bit of an angle as opposed to straight on or straight from the side, and that'll keep it from gouging. You can start to see the shiny part where it's being worked, and we just want to make sure that goes all the way across. And so as long as you can feel that burr all along the backside, that looks pretty good. Now we can move on to the next grit. So now we'll move on to the 1000 grit Whetstone. And this time we're going to find that bevel, and then we're going to lift it up just a little bit, which is called a secondary bevel. There's the bevel, and we're going to lift it just a little bit more. And that's just so that you don't have to sharpen that whole face. It's just creating a little bit of a steeper edge. So the second bevel is more like 30 degrees, and the primary is more like 25. Checking your progress. See here, I'm doing a little heavier here than here. So I just need to make sure my amount I'm pressing on my fingers is even. You want to keep checking to make sure you got that burr all the way across. So here's our progress. Now we're ready for the 12,000 ceramic. Got a pretty good polish going. When you're done, you want to put it on its back face again and do a couple of strokes back and forth to trim off that burr that you developed. Now we can finish off with the leather strop. You can charge it with some compound. Hold your chisel bevel down and just do like 50 strokes. So some people like to sharpen by hand like I showed you. If you are not comfortable with that, you can get a honing guide, a little jig that'll hold the chisel at the correct angle that you're looking for. So that's an easier way to start, but if you get the hang of this after some practice, it's a lot quicker and a little bit more enjoyable. So there you go, you've got a sharp chisel. There's a lot of different ways to sharpen, but this is just how I like to do it. If you like the video, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.